So there was this tag going around YouTube last Christmas, and I wasn't making videos then, and chances are I wouldn't have been tagged anyway, but it was telling YouTube your nerd story, and it really appealed to me, and I've been watching some of the older videos and I thought I'd make my own. As you know, I am quite a nerd. I never really had a chance. I've got a brother who's 20 months older than me and we're very close, and also the street that I live on, growing up and even now, I'm the only girl of my age on my street, so I only had boys to play with. So probably started off with the nerdy thing by playing Power Rangers when we were little in the street. And Pokemon, we used to play Pokemon. I don't know how that's possible, but we found a way. Another massive thing from my early childhood was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it must have been really early because I remember going into first school on the day after that Buffy was on TV and playing Buffy on the playground. I was Willow. Oh, obviously I was Willow. I don't know why that's obvious. And I remember being told off because I did a cartwheel, and they were like, "That's dangerous." But in my little head, that was, you know, Buffy fighting with cartwheels. You remember that bit, don't you? Yeah, okay. I guess the next thing that contributed to my nerdiness now is Harry Potter. Not necessarily the reading side of it. I'm not one of those kids that, you know, Harry Potter got me reading, because that's not really the case for me, but it was the story. And I remember in year 5 we were read it. Year 5 in Britain, you're like 9, I think, 8 and 9, and then we used to play it on the playground, and I was Hermione because I had the hair. No other reason other than that I had the hair. And yeah, we used to play Harry Potter like the cool kids we were. I think it's quite cute. My dad is into really old sci-fi, so I remember growing up on a Saturday morning watching Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet, like I knew what a Mysteron was from a very young age, and also Star Trek, like I know who Seven of Nine is. I mean, my understanding of it is quite limited, but I do remember sitting down and watching that as a family thing. It's the same with Star Wars. I've watched them all the way through. Don't hurt me. But I prefer the modern ones, but I think that's just me as a person. I have quite a short attention span and I'm not very good at things that are older. I'm not good if effects are clunky. I'm a product of the 21st century, and I'm sorry, and I do like the old Star Wars films, just not as much as I like the new ones. While we're on the subject of movies, I'm going to confess to you my love of X-Men. I don't know how old I was when the first one came out, but I really loved that superpower, good versus evil, ultimate battle, superpower and fantasy. That's where my brain is all the time. The latest and most important part of making me a nerd is Doctor Who. I remember that first episode of Christopher Eccleston so clearly. I think it was broadcast on my birthday, which might be part of the reason. I also remember that the boy I was seeing at the time, because you know you have those proper relationships when you're 13, I remember texting him about it when Mickey gets eaten by the Auton wheelie bin. That I remember texting about that, so yeah, that's really clear in my mind, and it really did spark a mild obsession. It's the only thing that I get really nerdy about. Like, I have to know who's written it and who's in it and where the monsters appeared before. It's the whole madman with a box going off to have adventures. The Doctor is such a complex character, and because, you know, with each regeneration he's played by someone new, so it's always being kept quite fresh, which goes back to my short attention span that I hinted at earlier. And I love the writing, and I think Stephen Moffat is amazing, so good. And like Saturday's episode, they've got Toby Whithouse to write it, and he's the guy behind Being Human, which if you haven't watched that, what is wrong with you? Go and watch it now because it's amazing. Through being more involved in YouTube, and I don't just mean making my vlogs, but also through watching other vloggers, I've discovered this amazing community of people. I'm talking specifically about nerd fighters. If you watch the Vlogbrothers, again, it's like Toby Whithouse and Being Human. If you don't watch them, why not go and watch them now, because they're amazing. I don't know exactly what the John Green quote is, but you know, being a nerd, that's just basically saying that you like stuff. And I like a lot of stuff. Mainly Doctor Who. Animals, you've seen them on my channel, music and books. If I had to define myself, those are the little things If you want to respond to this via video response or comment or message me or whatever, I'd love to know, you know, in the nerd fighter spirit. Tell me what you're really passionate about, what you really like. Is it Doctor Who? Please let it be Doctor Who. We'll be great friends if it is. On that note, I'll see you soon, and DFTBA.